Hey, it's Randy here in the garage. What I've got in the work stand today is that old skip tooth bike that I brought home from the recent swap meet. I'm not sure who the manufacturer of this bike was. Like I said, was skip tooth, so I assume it's from sometime in the 40s. The frame's in a little worse shape than I realized when I bought it, but not enough to stop me from building it up. Everything still seems to be straight. I think we'll build it up in kind of probably a multi-speed Klunker style. Here's the wheel set I think we'll put on there. I think it's a matching set, and I got this at the swap meet also. So I think the first thing is to see if I can widen the rear triangle to accept a multi-speed hub. I'm just going to use this axle nut and washers to widen the rear triangle. All right. Yeah, let's get a cassette put on this wheel and see how that's going to fit. Got this 7-speed cassette we'll try. So next up I think is tires. I've narrowed it down to these. That color combo looks pretty good. This is kind of a street tread. This is this set that I picked up at the swap meet. It's kind of a block tread. This is a really fat 2.3, which I'd like to really put some fat tires on here. And then, what is this one? I don't know. This is another fat one though, but I've only got one of these. It's a pretty aggressive tread. So I'd have to put something different on the front, but I do like the idea of just having something really fat on there. And when I'm looking at these rims, I thought they were a matching set, but turns out one's larger than the other. But it's marked 26 by 1.5. But anyway, it's bigger than 26, so let me find. So right here it says 650B. So this is the wrong label. So I have to find another front rim. I'm gonna go ahead and put this tire on there, on the rim, put it on the bike and just see what it looks like. So I think that color combo looks great, but there's a lot of space there in the rear triangle, and I'd like to fill that up with tire. So next up is the fork, And I think I'll just try and use the original fork. And I think those bearing cups will clean up okay. So let me get this all cleaned up and ready to go. Okay, I just noticed these threads might be stripped. Shoot. I don't know, let me see where this falls within the headset and if it'll tighten down. See how there's a gap and then there's not. I think this is, I don't know, maybe the steer tube's bent, or it could be because those threads are messed up. This isn't threading down evenly. So I think I'm gonna have to try a different fork. Let's see how this one looks on there. This was a faux patina I did for some other bike, I guess. It almost matches. Nice thing is I have a place to mount a brake on this fork. Maybe these cups are messed up. It still doesn't want to tighten down right. I think I may put in new cups. Although I'd sure like to leave them rusty ones in there. Give this old fork one more try after putting in the different headset cups. Excuse all the sniffing. I've been fighting a cold or allergies or something for the past couple of weeks. I still got that wonky gap there. Okay, still got something wrong. Jeez. Okay, I think I finally got the right combination of headset parts on there, and it's working. One of the tires I was contemplating using, I already had one mounted to this front rim, so let's just put that on there and see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, I want to go with the beefier tire. Well, since I'm going to be swapping out the tire anyway, and I noticed how much that polished rim looks different from this one, plus the shape of it's different. I just pulled this down out of the attic and it more matches the front. I think it's a 6-speed freewheel, so I think we'll just use this rear wheel instead of that one. Okay, new rim. Well, something I just discovered that I probably should have checked on first thing. The head of this bolt is snapped off. So I'll have to see if I can get that out. Okay, the seat tube appears to take a 13/16 seat post. I've got this solid aluminum rod. I ordered these online. Let's see if we can get it to go. Well, that doesn't feel right either. Maybe I should just use a bolt and a nut. So I'm gonna put in a 3-piece crank, so I'll have to put in a bottom bracket adapter. Let's see if we have any luck getting these cups out. Yeah, there's one. Let's see if we have any luck here. Well, I've only got 2 bottom brackets here. Let's hope one of them's the right size. Going through my cranksets, I think this is the only one I have that I could use. That's pretty close there. By the time I draw that in, I'm afraid it may be too close. So that bottom bracket was 118. Let's see if, I think this is 126. It's probably too long. I think we'll go with this. There's that much clearance. And of course, this will suck in quite a bit. What the heck? That's not the right arm. Jeez. That's better. I guess we'll continue on with the drivetrain and get us a derailleur. We'll just use this Shimano. So this frame has these tabs on each side. That was for a drop kickstand. I'm just too lazy to cut them off. Let me see if I can't get the derailleur to mount. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut them off. Yep. So I got the derailleur mounted. I wasn't able to use that little nut and bolt that kind of orientates it and keeps it, that goes into the dropout and keeps it aligned. So I just torqued it down in the position I thought it should be in, and we'll hope that works. Oh my God. Oh, wrong one. Oh no. The low limit screw is just really messed up. Dang it. Okay, I'm just gonna have to replace the derailleur. Well, I ended up putting this Sun Tour GT derailleur on there. And I think I've got the limit screws adjusted, oiled the chain. So, as you can see here, it's not ideal the way this is mounted, but it'd just be a hassle when I have to take the wheel off to fix a flat when out and about. So it's supper time and I need to get dinner ready. So I think we'll call it a day and I'll just get back at it in the morning. Good morning. Just got back from having coffee, so all caffeinated up and ready to get back on this bike build. I think next up will be the stem and handlebars. So here's the stem and handlebar combos that I've come up with. Okay, I think it's either going to be this one or this one. I think I'm going to go with these just because of the looks. I think the other bars would probably be more comfortable, but I just like this painted stem and the non-chrome handlebars. That other's just too much chrome. So I repainted the stem to match the bike a little bit better. Okay, let's see what we have for brakes, caliper brakes. I sprayed some aluminum paint over these to dull that chrome finish. Gonna need a friction shifter. Okay, we'll make one of these work. Yeah, I think we'll go with this shifter. It's even indexed for 6-speed, although it's probably Shimano and that's Sun Tour. I don't know, we'll give it a shot, see. I'm gonna go with these brake levers. I've extended these handlebars at some point. I think I put a tube inside there and then JB welded it all together. Okay, I'm gonna get the brakes and the derailleur all cabled up and then I'll check in with you after that. Got everything all cabled up, which was a nightmare and took forever, mostly because I couldn't find a shifter cable long enough going through all my junk used cables and stuff. When I was about to give up, I finally found a bag of brand new cables. So got that all hooked up. It even indexes. So let's see now, grips. And I've narrowed it down to these. I really like the colorful ones, but I don't think any of those are gonna match the bike. But I think these will. So we'll give them a try. Now for pedals, and if I remember, we have these bear trap that are 9/16, and I think we'll use those. I think this is going to be a somewhat aggressive riding position. I'll be leaning forward quite a bit, I think. So I'm going to go with a narrow saddle, and I think I'll just use this giant contact. So I need to put some saddle guts in it now. Well, I think that's it. So now just to see how it rides.